Do you want to take better care of your vertebral discs? Good, I have 5 highly effective tips to keep them in good shape. Tip number 1, keep moving, but not the way you always do, but in a very special way. How exactly? Well, so that you use all possible angles of motion. To left and the right, your head, your upper body, and don't forget all the angles in between. Why is this so important? It is between your vertebral bodies where you find your discs, and they are nourished by being pressed upon and then released. Applying pressure pushes waste out, and when the pressure is taken off, nutrients can be soaked up. And doing that across all discs, along the entire spine, across all sections, requires using many angles. That means pick those exercises we offer in our channel that deal with your neck, any pain in the neck, but also with back pain, pain in the thoracic spine, and lumbar spine. This way, you automatically activate all the main angles, but also vary your movements. And the absolute best movement of all is rotating. Rotating your head from left to right, rotating your torso to the left and to the right, because rotations ensure a maximum amount of nourishment. And that means pressing upon the entire surface of the disc so all the waste material gets pushed out, and then soaking up nutrients across the entire disc surface. If you do that exercise, moving in all those axes of motion, and then close with rotations at the same time, you relieve your vertebrae of that permanent pressure that forces your disc to shrink and degenerate due to a lack of nutrients. They lose volume and become thinner and can't perform their functions properly anymore. All of that can be avoided by doing these movements. Tip number 2, sleep on your back, preferably on a hard mattress. Why? During the course of the day, gravity does its job. But, as you know, your spine has curvatures. Kyphosis in the thoracic spine, lordosis in your cervical and your lumbar spine, and through the years, with a deteriorating posture, if you're not careful, these curvatures get more pronounced. And that means that certain discs in certain sections of the spine take on more permanent pressure in the course of time. And since the larger, or say tighter, the angles of the curvature become, the higher the pressure is on some discs of the spine and not on others. And that is not good. It's better to compensate for that. And we could do this during the night. Just lie on your back on a relatively hard mattress or surface, and then the overpronounced curvatures of your spine tend to settle down, become straighter. Not absolutely straight, we don't want that, but straighter so that what happens due to a bad posture during the day is partially or even completely compensated for during the night. And the moment this happens, this one-sided load on certain discs is taken off. And the result is your straightened out spine can better recover overnight. It's not locked in the grip of these forces, so that when you get up in the morning, your spine will feel brand new. And a longer one at that. You may know this phenomenon. In the morning, you're taller than in the evening, because the load on your discs during the day pushes your spine. The most common explanation is to blame gravity for this, but I have a different take on it. Because the moment you do certain movements, the height difference between in the morning and in the evening would be much smaller. Almost as good as sleeping on your stomach. And this has an additional benefit. Since you don't want to sleep on your nose, you turn and rotate your head. And what do we say in tip number 1? You're squeezing the disc across its entire surface. And of course, you wouldn't lie on your stomach the whole night, but, and I've made a habit of this, You change positions, and whenever I wake up, you're still in a daze, not wide awake, I change my position, roll onto my back, or if I lie like this, and I feel like it, I turn into this position. That means you have rotation happening here. Other than that, in the prone position, your spine is also flattening out more. And all the muscles involved with these curvatures are being stretched. The night is a wonderful time to do part of all the stretching you would usually have to do during your day. Tip number 3, eat more plant-based food. Don't be too dogmatic about this, too exclusive, but it's a good tip to increase the proportion of plant-based food in your diet and minimize the amount of meat. It comes down to the big topic of over-acidity, because it's so important for the fascia, the discs, all the tissue. The moment we have overly acidic intercellular fluids, the water is pushed out of the fascia because the water-binding capacity of the fascia is diminished. And that means your fascia dries out, your discs too. And the moment they become brittle, they become more susceptible to cracks, ruptures. They are less stress-resistant and not as flexible anymore. The discs have the same problem as all the fascia in your body. Beyond that, there are a lot of positive side effects. They are actually positive effects, not like with medications where you have adverse side effects. But here you have positive side effects and in abundance. You can benefit from those effects, and they go beyond the health of your fascia and your discs. Tip 4. Drink plenty of water. You can drink water and you can eat it. What does that mean? Eat it. Eating water is simple. Eat plants, fruits, and vegetables. These things are 80–90% water, so that when you eat them, you have plenty of water in your body, and your discs will love it. And drink water. You know the rule of thumb. Depending on your weight, you should drink 2 or 2.5 liters a day. Drink plenty, but spread it out over the course of the day. That's very important. Because look at what happens when you drink. It runs down into your stomach, then your bowels, and there it should already start dissipating into the tissue. This is where the water distribution actually starts, but your small intestines only have a limited capacity to process water, the quantity, that is. So, here's a good rule to follow. 1 gulp every 3 minutes. Or whatever works for you during your day. Just don't do the following. Don't think, okay, I need 2 liters of water, so I'll simply chug a liter in one go, and then the second one in the afternoon the same way. This way, a lot of the water would just run through your body and not end up where it's supposed to go. Let's compare your body a bit to farmland. If you have a drizzle, the soil can easily absorb this rain, making the soil moist and wet. But with a major downpour, however, the water runs off in rivulets and then down culverts and gullies and into the sewer system because the soil just can't absorb so much water. And the water you drink should be pure water, and that means no acids. Tip number 3, over-acidity. So the water shouldn't be carbonated. We want to get rid of acids, get them out of our body. And it should be poor in minerals. That means more minerals is not better, because minerals, and we are biologically attuned to that, should come from plants and fruit, from food. We don't need minerals in the water. Quite the opposite. Water rich in minerals prevents waste from being transported out of your body because the trucks to do that job are already fully loaded. Tip number 5. Do my morning routine. Yes, you heard right. The morning routine I've developed starts while you're still in bed, before you even get up. That's the happy breakfast for your vertebral discs. So do this routine regularly, and you'll find out for yourself how your body responds to it. And please, This is very important to me. Share this video. In particular, with those people who have back problems, but also with people you want to motivate to do something good for their vertebral discs before something happens. And of course, we have a lot of exercises in this channel here that go beyond this morning routine. By the way, have a look at our premium channel. There, you'll find lots of exercises that we have sorted for you by categories, which have been filmed with 2 and 3 camera angles, so you won't miss out on a single detail. Just check it out, give the exercises a try, and see how it feels. It's worth it. Clicking here takes you directly to the premium channel. Have fun. Clicking here takes you to our morning routine. Have fun there as well. Bye.